Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy J Blaze TOD back with another interview. Today we are here with. What is your name?
ABF2 Quinones,
Where are you from?
West Covina, California.
Okay. So, before I start asking you questions, what made you want to join the Navy?
I was 17 with a child on the way, and my scholarship to Fairbanks of Alaska failed.
When did you enlist?
Oh, shit. July 27, 2017.
What do you remember about the day you enlisted?
It was long. It was a long day. I think I spent like 16 hours at MEPS.
Okay. Um, the day you enlisted, right? Or you were thinking about re-enlist, or the day you thought about enlisting. How did you tell your family and friends that you were joining?
I went to my uncle, and he was a Marine in Nam. I told him, I was like, hey, I think I'm going to join. And he told me, he was like, go to the Marine Corps. They'll get you right. And turns out that was a fucking lie.
Are there any conversations that stand out between you and your uncle on that day?
Yeah. He had to join the Marine Corps to avoid a life sentence. I was just joining because clearly wasn't going to make it in the Air Force.
Okay. So, what were some of the reasons that you joined the military? Like for benefits, what did you join for?
Free labor.
Free labor?
Yeah, man. You know how much a pregnancy costs? I was 17.
That's true. That's true. Um, how did you choose your branch of service?
So I had gone to the Marine recruiter's office, but he gave me this bullshit ass speech about being a one of a kind Marine.
Right.
And I could kind of feel he was full of shit. Not only that, I called my uncle and asked him about it. And he was like, yeah, no, they say shit like that. It's not real. So I walked out of the Marine Corps office. And as soon as I walked out of there, my Navy recruiter was in there smoking a cigarette.
Right.
And he looked over and he was just like, hey, man, you don't want to be a fucking Marine. I was like, why is that? He's like, because I make double the amount of money he does. I've been in, like, not even as long as him. And I can prove it. I can show you my paycheck. I was like, put your money where your mouth is. And he did. And then, yeah, here I am.
All right. So before you join the military, right? We all have this perspective of the military, right? Military, upstanding, amazing United States military services. But before you joined, what was your military? How did you imagine the military to be before joining?
Honestly, my expectation of the military is exactly what it's been.
What it's
I
been?
got a lot of family that's joined, and I've heard a lot of them tell their stories and stuff. And I knew it was going to be a steaming pile of shit coming in, and it's still a piece.
So now that you are in the military, how's your perspective now? Like, what do you think of the military?
Honestly, I think it's one of those taken for granted jobs, for real.
Right. What was basic training like? Do you remember boot camp? Like, what was basic training like?
I do remember it. It was fun.
Was
You
it?
get a bunch of random strangers from all over the country and throw them in a room together and watch how they act for 2 months.
Right. Can you describe one funny moment from boot camp that you had, that you experienced, that you remember?
Yeah, we had this real fat dude named Lyons, and we had just done like our second PRT, and I remember our senior chief. He came out the compartment or fishbowl, whatever you want to call it, and he was just like, "Lyons, how the hell did you go from clocking in 14 push-ups to 90 in under 2 minutes?" That's like unbelievable. Don't get me wrong, it was believable because we were all getting our weight up and whatever. But he put him in front of everybody, and he was just like, "This dude has 2 minutes to do 90 push-ups. If he fails, you guys will all make up for the ones he doesn't do."
Oh shit.
And yeah, no, we were doing push-ups forever that day.
Okay. So you've been in the Navy for how many years now?
7 pushing 8 soon.
Okay. So where did you serve? You don't have to go into detail. I don't think we're supposed to go into detail, but where did you serve? What countries did you go to?
Mostly in San Diego and Japan.
Right. When you get deployed, right? What countries do you go to?
wherever the QMs decide to take you. You can make pit stops all through the Middle East, all through Asia, wherever your ship's scheduled to go, you're gonna go.
And do you have fun in those countries?
Always, 10 out of 10.
Hell yeah. If you were deployed overseas, right? Did you like being deployed overseas?
Yeah, I almost took into consideration getting a residency and full-time living in Japan, just
Okay.
based on the few years that I did spend there.
Awesome. So when we get deployed, right? We have cell phones, but we don't have a lot of service out to sea. How did you stay in touch with family back at home and friends?
An email a day makes all sadness go away, dude.
Is there any other way to stay in touch besides email?
Yeah, if you got a homie that's a IT or a CT and they can hook you up with a pot line,
Right.
then you learn the code for your pot line, you're able to make a call out. But, push kind of shove, just send an email. I try to keep it down to at least 3 or 4 a day.
Right. What are some things you remember most about your deployment?
Hungry, tired,
Hungry.
anger.
Tired, angry. I could say the same. All right, so this is gonna conclude the interview. But before we end this interview, do you have any advice for others that want to join the military?
I do. If you're going to join, you got to remember you're joining an organization where people could have 2, 5, 10, 15, 20 years on you. And even though times change, not everything in the military changes with time. So you can't come in with your feelings on your sleeves, and you can't come in being very sensitive about stuff, and you can't come with the expectation of you're the top dog within your first few months. And you also got to keep yourself humble. You got to remember a lot of people come from a lot of different places. There's people that come with good households, and there's people that come from bad households. And certain things play out certain ways. But at the end of the day, when you're in this, it's a game of tag, a vicious game of tag. You got to be the first person or you're fucked.
Okay. Well, there you guys have it. I'm here with ABF 2 Quinones, and this is gonna conclude the interview. You guys have a nice day.